he never heard you express remorse. Have you never felt it?
Remorse for what? You people have done everything in the world to me. Doesn't that give me equal right? I can do anything I want to you people at any time I want to, because that's what you've done to me. If you spit in my face and smack me in the mouth and throw me in solitary confinement for nothing, what do you think's gonna happen when I get out of here? Guilty. I wouldn't do anything that I felt guilty about.
You don't feel guilty at all?
There's no need to feel guilty. I haven't done anything I'm ashamed of.
Anti-Afro Svengalis. Listen, everyone, since yesterday, which would be Wednesday, it's still Thursday evening here on West Coast time, I made about 5 attempts to record this video. And I am still completely flabbergasted about this rapid turn of events. Things have been going on, and I'm talking off YouTube. I'm not concerning myself with what most people are saying here in these YouTube streets about stuff that doesn't exist. I'm not responding to non-existence. I'm just not. I don't care about it. There are much more catastrophic occurrences as we speak going on. And this relates to the contest I was telling you. The plan was to come and announce the person who got canned last week. Unfortunately, I'm not going to come up here and publicly announce the person's name because the FBI is now involved. There has been equipment that has been confiscated. It is a very, very horrendous situation that is going on for many reasons. And the thing that just won't settle with me, how in the hell can, and I don't want to say person, because it's more than one person that we're talking about, but yes, there was an individual who was fired. To me, I just don't understand how someone would do the things that would get the person in a position to have the FBI on their ass. If you encountered a situation, God forbid a loved one was the victim of a crime, and it was on this level, you would be thankful if somebody was intervening on behalf of your loved one. Law enforcement, the FBI, who would do things that would put themselves in the line of, quote, I guess you can say fire, targeting? Who would put themselves in the crosshairs? Who would go and stand in front of a bullseye? Who would put a seat on the freaking train tracks and act like it's just another day when you see the train barreling down the tracks? Someone who obviously thinks they're smarter than the larger system. That's what Grandmaster Jay did. Not only did he get convicted in federal court, he's facing state charges. And this is exactly the situation that's going on right now. And this evolved very quickly. So what I'm not going to do, I'm not getting up here calling out someone's name who is in very serious trouble. If that person decides to come up and say what happened, that person can, but it will not be me. Now, those people who participated in the contest, they were given the information behind the scenes. I don't know, and honestly, it's not my problem. It just boggles the mind to put yourself in a situation where you can be charged with criminal offenses and potentially end up in a federal prison or institution. Hats off to the reform-minded individuals out there who've had law enforcement encounters and turned their lives around. But there are some people who just don't learn. They don't care to learn. And let me tell you this, if these individuals are so intent on perpetrating these acts, what I don't understand, why not perpetrate these acts on someone who's willing to let you perpetrate these acts upon them? Because there are people who agree with the shit. who agree that others have a right to violate the law and use you in the process. Why not get somebody who doesn't mind you doing that to them? See, that's no fun. So turn to the person who so supports all this bullshit that's been going on and all of the criminal conduct that people have been warned about time and time again, have gotten themselves in trouble before time and time again. Why don't you turn to the person who's rocking with you? Turn to the people who are rocking with you and ask them how willing they are to allow you to perpetrate crimes upon them and their families and their friends. Ask them. And what I find to be the most insulting of all is people trying to lay blame on other people as to the consequences that the culprits have encountered. Those who engage in illegal conduct are responsible for their own behavior. No one else. So nobody is getting anyone fired. The people who should be looking out for their employment interest are those individuals themselves. It doesn't fall on anyone else. Because if you're not engaging in any conduct that's unauthorized, that's illegal, that's unethical, there's nothing anyone can do. These individuals are documenting their criminal conduct. They're following it up offline, and they want to come back and blame other people because they got involved with the justice system who's stepping to them. Let me add a point of clarity. Victims of crime, because this is what we're talking about, are made aware of next steps in their situation or their cases. So this is why this information is known. This has been going on for a while. I'm not going to say who it involves, but the victims of the situation were informed about this major turn of events. There is more than one agency involved, more than one law enforcement agency involved. The FBI is just one. And this is a situation that the culprits created themselves. It is nobody else's fault but those who engage in this conduct. So I find it very, very distorted and sickening how it comes down to people saying, why are you going after somebody's job? No one's going after anybody's job. If you don't engage in the conduct, nobody can do anything to you. If you're not violating the law, how are you going to be arrested? You're minding your own damn business. You're not violating any laws. You're just on here doing free speech. You're living your life, doing what you have every right to do, and then you come and get bothered and you come and get harassed by the cops. Okay, we're not saying that never happens. Most of the time, that's not how it works. There is evidence that leads to a certain situation. And when you're talking about shit that's online, there's a trace of everything that you do. And if people don't get that message, that is to their detriment. And the other thing I have to also make sure is clear, just because somebody is anxious for something to happen according to when they want it to happen doesn't make it happen. That way, things evolve how they evolve. No one knew the victims are going to be given the information that they were given. And I am so glad that I was informed. So I do not get up here and mention a person's name to interfere with the law enforcement process. Now, if that person wants to get up here and say what happened, that they lost the job, they can say that. I also want to make sure people don't think because they haven't been notified that they're not in line to be held responsible for what they have done. People love to make it appear that nothing is happening, that this is just a joke. You're too sensitive. Why are you messing up people's lives? There is no guilt, thankfully, being felt by the victims of these atrocities. The people who engage in this conduct are solely to blame themselves. You will find out soon enough. Can I give you the exact timeline as to when the next major event is going to occur? I can't do that, but I can tell you it's going to be soon because of some things that are going on. And next week, you just might find out through a major update. So just exist here in these YouTube streets, and not even saying you're going to find out for me, because you're going to find out. It's going to happen. It's going to go down. Nobody's playing any games. And people out there, give it up if you think you're going to guilt victims of crime into running away and hiding from this criminal conduct that has been perpetrated. And people seem to think they are able to do what they want with impunity. And that's just not the case. Again, there's more than one person that is going to be subject to some pretty severe consequences, and you will know when that happens. In the meantime, you know the drill. Buyer, beware.